back to Gensco Custom. So today I'm sharing with you a Sideshow Collectibles Wonder Woman premium format statue that was converted into a Black Lantern version. Now this is kind of a mashup of kind of like my own little design on the Black Lantern Wonder Woman, but sort of following the comic book artwork. It was also a Patreon's choice. So the way it works is my supporters on Patreon, whenever I get an item that I'm going to customize, it's for Friday streams only, and I usually put up a poll. So for this one, we put up a bunch of different Wonder Womans in a poll that I was interested in doing, and everyone voted on the Black Lantern Wonder Woman. Now, I did do a Black Lantern Wonder Woman a while back on the first Sideshow premium format, but this is the second one. So I got this one in and kind of just changed it up a bit and had a little bit more fun and tried some new things. And all in all, it's a really great statue. I absolutely love it. I just think that the original factory paint up on the item was pretty poor, but the prototype was absolutely amazing. It's a really great statue, so this was actually a lot of fun. So if you really want to go in depth and see how I put this together, I did put up all my live streams on an archive on the channel. You can go back and you can pretty much see everything on how I chopped it up, how I built it, how I added each armor piece. I kept some of the elements there from the original statue, but I also kind of tweaked on some new things, made a new base and everything as well. But it's a really, really great item. It's a really great statue, and I really had a lot of fun with this one. Kind of break down a lot of stuff that I did. So for her head, we pretty much added the Black Lantern Wonder Woman like headgear that she has. It's kind of like a head piece that kind of goes on the cheeks. I left her choker there because the head is removable from the original statue. I figured it's not the end of the world if I just kind of utilize some of the elements there. I sculpted the new chest piece on her. We took off the old one there. I added the arm guards. We left the bracelets alone because those bracelets were fine. We went with the belt off of, pretty much the artwork. It's kind of like the Terry Dotson Wonder Woman outfit anyway, in a sense, because that's kind of like my favorite. For her flaps, they are removable with magnets. They're a little bit tricky. The longer they stay on there, the harder to kind of get off, but if you kind of pop them off, they do kind of scrape the paint a little bit, but I added magnets, so they are removable. This one's a little bit more tricky because you don't want to snap it, but you can see it kind of, this is the problem with some of these acrylic paints, when you put magnet pieces on there, but it's hidden so you don't see it. But all in all, that worked out pretty well. They were a little bit tricky. It's also a good learning experience to do these removable pieces because normally in the past I would have attached them, and then if I try to, whoever ends up owning this piece, if you kind of packed it up, it could kind of break. So at least now everything is removable. We add a little bit of a piece for the belt. Now the belt is just a black rope on her. She is the Black Lantern Wonder Woman, so she does have her lasso, but I guess it's kind of like turns black. So I just put, some really nice rope around there, and that's pretty much it. In the beginning, we were going to have her lasso in her hands, but the Patrons and a lot of people on the live streams decided to change it up. So this hand here is actually a hand from a CG Trader site. It's basically a site that has a lot of 3D files, and you can purchase the files, and you can tweak them, you can use them and print them out, and use them for elements. So a viewer of the channel, he goes by ICStatues. I'll link his information in the description. He was kind enough to help us out with taking the hand file that I purchased, and he actually added a burst to it, which is really easy for him. So he just added the burst and stuff, so he printed. So that's kind of like where her black ring is. So that's kind of like the cool thing about that. So instead of putting the lasso in her hand, we changed up her hand and we went that route. And then what I did is we added an axe in this hand and we sculpted it from scratch. So this was a lot of fun. I kind of followed her artwork on her thing and kind of did my own little take on it and all. Now somebody did actually ask a question which is kind of cool. One of my viewers left a comment and asked why she was choking up on this so much. Normally I know she would be holding it from here, but one of the reasons why I did it was for balance and space reasons. If I had it all the way over here, it could snap off, and two, I did put her in my Besta when I was kind of attempting this, and I realized that if she was to fit in the Besta with this sticking out, you would have to put her at a really weird angle. So I always try to keep things within a certain circle for Bestas. I know like a lot of people now are moving on to other cases and building their own displays, but I still have Besta cases in my house. So I figure if people are still kind of with those, I try to keep a lot of my customs in there. That's kind of what I came up with that. Now for her shin guards, They were a little bit tricky, and I wanted to try something different from what I did in the past. Now I know her artwork, she's got these like stylized shin guards and stuff, but I wanted to do something a little bit more with them. So basically what I did is on the streams I created a little bit of a A's piece on a, I forgot, like some kind of a tube. I let that dry, and then what I did is I shaped it out, and I had a basic shape. And then from there I laid A's on top of that. I had some fabric that is kind of like fishnet, and I put the fishnet over there, and I created this texture. And then from there I created the border around there, and then from there I created the little flaps with the little wheel pieces there, and I made sure I can attach them onto the piece at the end. So that's kind of what I did with those pieces, which was a lot of fun. I mean, you know, and also basically we have two of them. So what I did is I made one as straight as perfectly possible, then we made a mold, and we made a resin copy of it for the other one. So basically it worked out pretty well. So that's kind of how, if you go back and watch the live streams, you can kind of see how those were created, which is kind of cool. You know, being able to utilize a lot of materials out there like resins, molds, and stuff like that, you can really make a lot of cool stuff. It does get fairly expensive because you are using a lot more materials, but it's the same thing as like 3D printing. If you're going to 3D print something, you need a couple copies. There's resin, time, effort, fail, stuff like that. So, but I still like to do a lot of this stuff the old way. Now, as far as the base goes, it's basically a simple round base, mix up with some rocks, put some skulls there, and we put some flames here. So, basically, these pieces, this one pops out, and these pop out. Now, these two flame pieces are actually from the Sideshow Collectibles Jean Grey statue that where she's turning into like the phoenix flames on her thing. So I broke these off of a previous statue, and I used them for here. Now, these are random skulls I had from another item. I added those to the base. This is a sword from something, I forget where. So basically what we did is I created a handle with this. I put two skulls on there, and basically we just have a sword. So she does have a sword, but it's got skulls on it. It's kind of just like a little bit extra thing that kind of just popped up on the stream as I was working on it. I added all the straps to her legs. We kept the boots going, and pretty much ran with it. So you can kind of see all the other little details. Give you guys a nice booty shot. Hopefully it's popping in pretty well. You can see the skin and everything. So let's kind of go over the paint real quick. So her texture on her skin is called modding, or molting, or modding. It's more modding, but you can call it whatever you want. Basically what you do is you just kind of do squiggly lines. You just keep doing squiggly lines over squiggly lines over squiggly lines. And you just keep going and going and going. Basically I use transparency blue, transparency red, green, dark red, Payne's gray, and then I did semi-transparency white. And I just kept doing squiggly lines all because I wanted to give her that zombie look, but not like dead look. I wanted her to look like, you know, the Black Lanterns are kind of like, you know, they're turning into like death, that are kind of like zombie-like, but not really too crazy. So that's kind of what I came up with the skin tone for this, and I thought it would be really cool to do it on a superhero item for once, and this worked out really well. And I haven't done it in years. I learned this back at Wonderfest back, I want to say 2006, 2008. I think one of those Wonderfests I went to is back when I was really starting to get into this. And they had a class on modding. That's kind of where I learned it. Now, as far as her face, the face sculpt is amazing. So, hopefully in the camera you can see it. I did a interference blue in there to make her eyes look like she's glowing. So, I didn't want to do pupils, and she doesn't really have pupils in the comics. And I didn't want to just do flat white. So basically, hopefully you guys can see it. Maybe it's popping in the camera or not. Gave her some nice dark lipstick. For her armor, it is a steel from AK Interactive. And in that steel, I gloss coated it with Spaztec gloss. And basically, that gives you that dark steel look. And it kind of gives it like that weathered old metal look. So it worked out pretty well. I did it all around the trim on the boots, the shin guards. Did the belt, the chest, and the bracelets. And for her black outfit, hopefully you guys can see it. I gave it a little bit of a satin look to it, so maybe it's a little shiny. Basically, it's a texture of black and browns, and it gives you that leather look to it. I probably need to do another little coat real quick on here because the satin really didn't come out too well on this area, but it worked out pretty well here. So I just got to do a little bit more on the flaps, but it should work out pretty well. I just wanted to give it like a little bit of a black leather shininess to it, so it wasn't too dulled against the skin. And other than that, pretty much everything else is straightforward. Just a lot of fun painting it up. Really cool just work on the item. Just all around a lot of fun. Let's see if we can kind of turn this a little bit. Maybe you can kind of see the skin a little bit better. But you can kind of see how that pops out a little bit more. And it just works. Really, really fun item. Really cool look to her. And just a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys join me in the streams. I appreciate everybody that joins me in the streams, that gives me feedback, that actually likes what I do, that kind of, gave some feedback on, elements I should do with this. Thanks to all the Patreons as well. I really appreciate you guys for support and voting on this one. It was a lot of fun. Patrons get first dibs on this. If any of the Patreons are interested, they're more welcome to contact me. Usually what I do is I put it on my site for a price, but the patrons, if you ask, I usually give you guys a lower price for your support. If not, down the line, if nobody's interested, it'll just pop up on eBay or still on my site. So one other last thing, if you do see it on eBay, always contact me through my site. I'm willing to take something off of eBay to give you guys a better deal because of eBay fees. It doesn't matter anyway. But with that being said, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the series if you watched it, and we'll be back with some more videos.